I don't know how often you listen to the news. From what I gather, most of us in the midst of this pandemic, we're listening to the news more than ever. Sometimes it's not strange to see people tuned in to BBC News, Sky News all day. So they're listening to report after report from nation after nation about all the things that are happening, usually quite gloomy things and very, very troubling things about the spread of the coronavirus. And sometimes we get the news, we get to a saturation point, and basically you can imagine the effect of all of that news. I think we should be informed, but sometimes that news can become like a weight on our heart and our mind. You know, making us feel pretty hopeless, useless, we don't know what to do. And that doesn't mean just, because we are just ordinary people. I mean, politicians, people who are leading countries feel useless. So the news that we hear so often can make us feel that way, can't it? It can make us feel, goodness me, it's hopeless, it's useless. What is the point of life? What's the point of life? Can I say to you tonight, if you are already going through a bit of a personal problem, a personal challenge, a relational challenge, perhaps a work-related challenge, then you're putting on top of all of that the weight of the world and the pandemic situation through the news, you can get to a place where you really can think to yourself, this life is just not for me anymore. I've had enough of it. May I say to you tonight, I think most of us feel something like that at some point in our lives. You're not alone. May I say to you, despite all of that being true, life is still worth your living it and my living it. And together, as we grow in learning to listen compassionately to each other and allowing people to speak these things out, to talk these things off their chest, so it is that we begin to see, yes, in the midst of all of these pandemic troubles and all the troubles of my personal life, life is still worth living. I want to just really encourage you if you're going through a very difficult time. Do you know, can I just say to you, I think many people in life, in your own families, probably as old as me or older, will tell you that there were times in their life when they wondered how they were going to get through. How on earth could they manage? Where would they get the money from for the things they needed? How would they provide when basically it looked absolutely hopeless? And then they've been in situations and they thought, I can never get out of this, it can never be the same. I think you will find that within your own families, particularly people who've had a lot of experience of life, that they'll tell you, but we did get through. But things were provided. That although we felt it would never work, it did work. We got through. Life is like a series of mountains to climb. Now, I don't know about you, but the only mountains I've ever climbed are about 3,000 meters. I climbed Helvellyn in the Lake District, which I really enjoyed. I climbed Ben Nevis up in Scotland once as well. But I think any of you who've climbed a mountain know it takes some doing, doesn't it, to climb a mountain. You've got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going, and then you get there. And when you get to the top, you feel pretty good about yourself, don't you? Your self-esteem rises, you get a wonderful view from up there, everything looks different, and you're really glad you did it. I want to encourage you to persevere through all of your personal challenges and difficulties, to persevere through all the things on your mind that are negative, that are weighing you down. I want you to keep going. It's like climbing a mountain. You just keep going. Life is often like this. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You just keep going, and then one day you realize you got through it. You climbed the mountain. When you climb the mountain, everything looks different. When you began to climb it, you couldn't see that. When you begun to persevere, you think, oh, how will it ever end? You've just got to keep at it. Can I say, your perseverance is a great friend to you and me. So, if you're feeling deeply troubled, I want to say to you, you will climb the mountain. That is a fact. But you must play your part, and I must play my part. We must courageously keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we will get there. And this listening service, this here and now listening service from Dunstan Activity Centre that we're providing, is there to help as well. If you need to talk yourself out. You've seen the medical centre, and I always say, share that with your doctors at the medical centre, and they may set up for you talking therapies and the like. But sometimes they can't see you as immediately as they'd want to, because, like everything, the resources are limited. And sometimes you don't want to be waiting weeks for an appointment for somebody to listen to you. You need to be heard immediately. This here and now service is a service that comes to you from one trained in counselling and guidance, who can allow you to speak yourself out, and that person and persons will listen. That's all. In an hour, you will speak for 55 minutes, and they will only speak for in that 55 minutes to say to you, well, tell me more about that. So how did you feel about that? What effect did that have on your life? So in other words, they will only speak to get you to speak more. So this type of hearing, listening in fact, and now means that you can there's a service for you, whether it's you want to do it by telephone, by email, or on some kind of Zoom time. It's there for you. You're not alone. You will climb the mountain. And we're there to help you. And sometimes I think the worst thing that happens to people when they are going through a bad time, when they're feeling, what's the point? The worst thing that happens is you feel alone. You're isolated. You can't seem to get it off your chest. I want to encourage you, if that's you, to contact us and let us know, because we will listen to you compassionately. And in the last 5 minutes of the hour that we spend with you, we'll make some suggestions. But I want to say to you, you're not alone. That there are people who don't even know you, who care about you. That if anything happened to you, it would not only be your family who would feel it and never get over it. Do you know, I know of someone, in a village next to Dunstan, and this young man had some problems. He didn't share them. He wasn't that kind of sharing kind of guy, and he killed himself. And you know, this is years ago now, and you know, no one in his family have got over it yet. They haven't got over it. You know, so, and the reason they haven't got over it is because they loved this guy. They loved him deeply. And life isn't the same without him. Can I say to you, think of this. There are many people that you know who feel just like that about you. In other words, you're loved. You're loved. You might have a lot of problems. You might feel you've got the weight of the world on your head. But people care for you. It's a fact. People who don't even know your name care for you. And I say to you, the more that we grow as a community in Dunstan and in other places, the more that people will know that. They will know that if they're going through a bad time, well, you know, I'm not alone. They will know I'm going to climb this mountain. I'm going to get to the top. I'm going to get there. And there are people who will help me to get there, who will encourage me. Life, with all its problems, all its challenges, is worth living. Let me say that to you very lovingly and caringly and as compassionately as I can. You are loved more than you know. If you're feeling lonely, most of the human beings around you have felt like that. If you feel hopeless and what's the point, probably most of us have felt exactly like that. So we're not feeling sorry for you. We can feel with you because we've been there. And we can understand, and hopefully in listening to you can help you as well to see how precious you are, how good life can be for you. Life can be good. I wonder if you could try this. One day, if you're feeling particularly low, just go and have a walk where there's some trees and some birds singing and things. Just have a walk in the wind or something. Go have a walk in the wind. When it's really windy, put a coat on, warm yourself up. Perhaps go in the rain, you know. Make sure you're going anywhere special, you know. But just, you know, put a big coat on, keep yourself, warm. But go and have a walk in the rain. And then when you're out there, just have a stop. Just stand still. Refuse to think about your problems and your troubles and just start looking at things. Look at the sky. Look at the trees. Look at the leaves falling. It's autumn. Listen to the birds sing. Perhaps notice a little child laughing. All of these things are reminding you that life is good. And it really, really is. And it will be good for you. And so, I just want to thank you for your time. And say again, if you need just a good listening to, compassionate listening to, then you can contact us on this Here and Now service, which runs from Dunstan Activity Centre, and a trained counsellor will listen to you for 55 minutes in an hour, and that hour can be spent like this. You can telephone, and we can conduct it on a telephone. If you want to contact me by telephone, it's 0191 460 4567. If I'm not there for any reason, my life is busy, just leave me a message and with a contact and I'll get back to you. If you prefer to email me, it's ed.nichols, Nichols, @live.com. And if you prefer to do it something like FaceTime or Zoom or whatever, if you let me know that in the telephone message or in the email, then I can fix that up. If you would really like a face-to-face, then that would be good too. If you're a woman, then obviously it would. I would need to have a female present, which is just to make sure you're absolutely secure and feeling secure in the situation. But whatever help we can be on this service, we're there for you. We'll listen to you today. You may need to listen to us tomorrow. That's what life's like. That's what it means to be part of a community. So if you're going through a bad time, we're with you, we're rooting for you, and you will get there. Thank you for your time. Good night.